The witch grasped her shawl tight against the buffeting wind, trying to muster enough strength to open the box. "Fire and ice," she murmured, tasting the words that had the metallic flavor of war. Some would live, and some would die, but the Middlelands, caught between the Northland Guard and the Lowland invaders, were about to change forever. The gnome raised her dark eyes hopefully as her mistress scanned the horizon, searching for signs of sun. "Everyone knows to leave the glacier alone. Let it dwindle to the south as new snow packs in from the north, as nature intended." Her eyes sought out the gnomes. "When I was young, each year the glacier would disappear a little further down the rock-strewn valley, and fossickers would collect the slow trail of treasure it released, and that was true and good. Fossickers would pan the rivers," Smoky Joe added, remembering. "Some would follow the trail of mineral-coloured freshets that spilled each spring from the crystal lakes to pool behind the teardrop dam at the top of the notch, and that was true and good." A gust ripped the magic wrap from Aubergine's grasp, leaving it held only by the amber stick pin at her throat. The shawl fluttered behind her like a cape. "The Lowlanders don't care what they unleash from the frozen past." "That is why it is time," the gnome repeated, gently. Aubergine nodded, summoning what power she could muster, nothing like what she had known when all this began. She ran her fingers over the box until they remembered how to release its top. An inner spring clicked, allowing her to pry the cover. The gnome leaned over to look closely at the fiery crystal inside. "I wish I could do that," she whispered. "You have other talents," Aubergine said softly, her face rosy in the light. Was this enough? She asked herself. Could a broken-down band of aging women silence an army led by a traitor, formerly one of their own, who thought she could conquer all? "The day will dawn red as it has not for 20 years, she said, "and then we must wait to see who will answer its call." Aubergine gathered a small handful of crystals in her bare hands. They glowed through the cracks formed between her fingers by her swollen knuckles. The coloured shards felt strangely light and alive with cold fire. With a deep breath, she threw the jagged bits into the air. For a moment, nothing happened. Smoky Joe gazed skyward, helplessly, and then looked up at Aubergine in confusion. "The spark's gone out!" Smoky Joe cried. "The crystals have grown old and useless, like us!" Aubergine's breath caught in her throat. "No, little one," she said. "No, they haven't." Both felt the warm rush of fire before they saw it. One by one, each blood-coloured crystal burst over the horizon, rustling dawn from the day. "Red sky comes morning, all take warning," the gnome whispered, her face shining pink with each flash of light as she bent to lift the empty tinderbox from the snow. "I doubt there are more than 9 of us left," Aubergine said, as they picked their way carefully down the icy hill to the yarn shop. 9 or 12, we have to make ready." Smoky Joe cheerfully blew a frozen cloud into her mittens. "Maybe enough of us will come that we may yet circle the great pot and melt crystal to fibre as we once did." "It is time for a simmer," Aubergine nodded. "Luck of the dye pot," the gnome said. "May we have the luck of the dye pot,"